In this episode, we are going to dive in, no pun intended, and take a look at another new G.I. Joe classified figure. This time, it is the Cobra Eel. So, stick around. Hello, fellow dorks and dorkettes, and welcome to It Came From My Side of the Laundry Room. My name's Rob, and in this episode, like I said, we are going to dive in and take a look at the new G.I. Joe classified Cobra Eel figure. Now, this is very new. It came out a few weeks ago, and this happens to be the only time I've had to sit down and take a look at it. I mean, life has been crazy. I think I've explained that in the torpedo episode. So, yeah, I'm really excited to just have a minute, catch my breath, and chill out with the Cobra Eel. So, what are we waiting for? Let's head on over here and take a look.
Yo, Joe!
Okay, first things first, I always like to take a look at the packaging. And I've said it before, I really like this packaging structure that they are using now, where they are putting the figure front and center. And the artwork is also really awesome, except he should have his helmet because, yeah, that's one of the standout features that made this version and the original version stand out. This is pretty cool, but he just looks like a ninja or something here. Nothing wrong with that. But as we can see, those pesky tube worms are back. The ones that were on the torpedo packaging. I wish I would have saved the torpedo packaging and see if they, line up in, like a big picture altogether. Or not. But I love the tube worms. I explained in the torpedo episode that they scared the crap out of me as a kid with their funky noises. And yeah, always a favorite of mine. Anyway, as we can see on the packaging, like I said, awesome artwork, and we see his accessories. And we will take a look at those up close in a few moments, so we won't waste any time pointing them out on the packaging. Now, side of the packaging, we have the QR code that now replaces file cards. I'm still bent about that modern aspect of these figures. Nothing wrong with a file card, so I don't get it. We have the back of the packaging, which, again, I am such a fan of this height. I mean, it puts in perspective the scale. So he's actually 6.2 inches, so he's actually taller than Torpedo. Built a little bit more rugged, it looks like. And here we have his accessories, and standout features would be that they are pointing out this awesome Eels logo on the back of his oxygen pack, and this awesome sonar wristband, kind of reminiscent of what Torpedo also had. Just different colors, of course. More evil colors. Here we have the artwork in more glorious detail. And it is a great picture, but it would have been cool to have his helmet. Like I said, he just kind of looks like a nondescript ninja without that helmet. I mean, of course he has a harpoon gun. Has his awesome little wrist sonar thing here. Got some tubing. I guess that shows that he's an underwater adventurer, but yeah, I would have liked to seen more helmet action. Anyway, now that we've taken a look at the package, let's head over and get a closer look at the figure and his accessories. Okay, here we go. Here is the Cobra Eel with his accessories. And as we can see, he has his flippers, a diving knife, his awesome helmet, which this is great. I can't wait to look at this a little bit more up close. His harpoon gun, which, let me point out, has a gold spear on it. You can see that right there. And his oxygen backpack with awesome eel logo, which we will also be taking a closer look at. Now, let's take a closer look at the figure. Bring it here closer to the camera. Looks like he has a glassed over eye. He does not. He has pupils in both. Awesome silver Cobra logo. Sorry for the dryer beeping in the background. Really cool armor pieces around the neck, shoulder pads. Really good belt here with pouches. I'm assuming this gray belt might be his weights or whatever. Really good detail on the belt buckle. Really nice, like, wetsuit detailing here, like the seams of it and everything. Here he has a sheath for his knife. Got a nice little gauntlet. Here is his little evil sonar device on his wrist. And what's great is this armor is all separately molded, which hopefully that doesn't hinder the backpack at all. But gotta love it. Red, black, and gray. Great color scheme. A little detailing there. But looks really awesome. I mean, it's pretty simple, but you don't need anything too extravagant. I mean, yeah, he's hitting all the high points, just like Torpedo did. Knife sheath wants to slide down. But yeah, let's put his gear on him and take a closer look at that. Okay. First things first, this helmet is a work of art. This is probably one of the best helmets I've ever seen for any action figure toy line. They did such a great job of making the eye shield clear. And you can see all the detail perfectly in his eyes and his brow there. Perfect. Now the tube's attached to his, whoa, watch out, his backpack, oxygen tank perfectly. And here's a close-up of that eel logo, which is top notch. That is awesome. That would be a great tattoo. But one of the throwbacks to the original figure, which we will see in a few moments, is this, like, you know, jet propulsion thing for the oxygen tank to help him go after Joe underwater. Super awesome. The harpoon gun, I mean, I don't have it sitting right in front of me, but I'm pretty sure it's exactly like, oh, got a little bit of, I would say that's fuzz, but it's not. It's some debris from hot glue from a diorama I'm building. But anyway, the harpoon gun looks pretty much exactly like Torpedo's, except with the gold spear. And it has the same problem as Torpedo's, which it's that soft plastic. And yeah, when you have still very rigid hands and soft plastic, it doesn't seem to want to work that great. Let's put his trigger finger on the trigger. There we go. It popped out while I was trying to pose it. But his flippers his flippers are great, just like Torpedo's, where the soft plastic works wonders because it fits in perfectly. And you want flippers to be mobile, just like in real life, so that makes them pretty realistic. So let's put him here, and we will compare him to his OG figure. Okay, here we go with the G.I. Joe classified eel to the original eel, and they kept so true to the original figure. Everything from the colors, I mean, even the Cobra insignia, still silver. This little red, whoops, I'm blocking it here. This little red thing here is also, let me get my pointer out. What am I thinking? This little red thing here is the same as the little red thing here. Got the tubing. We'll turn it around and look at the backpacks more in detail. Look, the knife's also here. And am I the only one that would pretend like they grabbed stuff that was molded on and just use your imagination that they were using it? But definitely don't have to anymore with the inclusion of this. Yeah, we have great detailing, like the colors on the helmet to this. The antenna's more pronounced here than it is here. And we have the light here, not present here, but molded in. So, of course, I messed up his shoulder is inside out, if you will. But, you know, you have the armor detailing here on the shoulder to here. And it's here too. Like I said, I just have the shoulder odd. So let's take a look at the back here of each one. We have, like I said, the like little rocket propelled thing here. We have them here, which also this, I lost an oxygen tube. Don't drown. This backpack is actually two pieces that you would snap this little propulsion system onto. But great color that they chose for this. They probably would have done that back in the day if they could. And this symbol, man, I'm in love with that. That is awesome. But as you see, not here. Now, one more thing I want to talk about real quick is the harpoon guns. I love this style of harpoon gun more so than the more realistic one. Look at this a little bit more in detail. I mean, that just looks more like badass. More Joe, if you will. Like I said, sorry about the shoulder there. But I love the new one, so I'm not taking anything away from it. But it would have been cool if they included this one as well. But here we go. Here is the then and the now of the Cobra Eel. Now, let's put this eel in some awesome poses and have some fun.
Okay, now for my final thoughts on the G.I. Joe Classified Cobra Eel. It's a great figure, and it is a great rendition of the original figure. I mean, they did a fantastic job of just upscaling and modernizing the original figure. I mean, even very minute details like that little red thing like on the sternum appears on both figures. I mean, it's such a small little throwaway detail that they included. And right there, that's just like the bridging of 30 plus years of G.I. Joe history right there in figure form. It's super awesome. and I love it. Now, the standout feature on the Cobra Eel is the helmet. I applaud Hasbro and the sculptors for probably one of the best helmets I've seen ever on an action figure, because it has a clear eyepiece. Mostly, unfortunately, like the torpedo figure, are just grayed out, blacked out, what have you. I kind of wish they would have taken that step on the torpedo figure, but it might have been harder with two single, kind of goggle pieces than a really big, like, visor goggle piece that they did on the eel. Now, something I realized when I was doing the posing portion was the eel doesn't come with a secondary weapon. Torpedo did. I mean, he's a SEAL, so it makes sense, for him to get on a beach, hold down an area with a, traditional rifle, submachine gun, what have you, opposed to just a harpoon gun. They could have taken that extra step with the eel figure. I mean, the picture that I did with him capturing shipwreck, I just used a random classified quasi-sci-fi gun that, they released, that they've gotten away from, thank goodness. But, yeah, it just dawned on me, like, they could have added, like, the traditional, original harpoon gun, like, the 80s figure came with. That would have worked perfectly, because that could double as a, out-of-the-water type of laser rifle. But other than that, the really wonky, flimsy plastic on the accessories works for the flippers, does not work for the harpoon gun. Yeah, other than just those two little things, this is a top-notch figure, and again, I have to recommend it. Yeah, they're knocking it out of the park with the classified line, and I can't really find that much bad in any of the figures that they've released so far. So, keep up the good work, Hasbro. Keep hiring and hopefully paying well these sculptors that are doing great figures and great throwbacks to the, the origins of the 80s Joes. I love it. So keep up the good work. Anyway, I'm going to leave you there. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you got something to say, please leave a comment. I love reading them, and I love getting back to everyone. And if you're new around here and you enjoyed this, or any of the other episodes that YouTube is recommending down here, please hit subscribe. And if you hit that little bell icon, you will be notified whenever there's a new episode. So anyway, until next time, thanks for watching. Keep being rad, and stay dorky.